no one's going to come. And then we ran out of chairs. So congratulations everyone, and it's really lovely. You've all been invited because you are our friends. And as you well know, we all work with all of you in an equal value partnership way. People that are here that have been trained know what that means. So it's really lovely to see everyone here today. And there's been a few people turn up from the past, which has been fantastic. I won't name them because I'll embarrass them, but there you go. And some of them I'm pleased to see. Actually, all of them I'm pleased to see. But yeah, and it's really nice that they're here because actually, it's a bit of a shock to me. 2006, before we formed the company in 2007, we met in an old cadet hall at the top of Cross Keys in Shadwell St Mary. Yeah, Morisco Hall as it is now. Yeah, and there was a really weird safe at the back. And it contained guns. They used to be like air rifles that the cadets used to use, and it was really weird. But me and the directors, we started as we meant to go on. There was a guy called Liam Coffey. Some people here may remember him. Hopefully you do. So Liam said, I'll tell you what, why don't we see if we can wangle this land off the council? So we said, okay. So we went to the council and said, there's this really rubbish building. It's absolutely in poor condition. It's no good at all. Any chance we can have it? And they all thought, well, what do you want that for? But yeah. So we got hold of it and then we just knocked it down with a hammer and used the land. And that's what built the new Morisco Hall. And that's where it all started way back in 2007, which is a long time ago. So we sat in there, we sort of scratched our heads and had all these different ideas about things that we could do. Yeah. And the beauty of it was, the best thing that we ever did was we listened to you guys, right? So while I stand up here now, maybe not now, it depends. I have to do 50 hours a weekend. Have I done enough yet? No, shaking her head. I haven't done 50 hours. So I'm getting paid. I actually get paid to do this. That's amazing, isn't it? I get paid to talk about you guys and try and get some money together for you, and you all come up with fantastic ideas, and the staff are all amazing, and we do all this really good stuff, and I get paid for that. Now that's absolutely incredible to me. And for us, you know, it has been a bit of a journey, and there's been moments when we've looked in the bank account and thought, can we pay the staff this month? That's a bit scary. But I'm sure you'll all agree we've got a fantastic payroll provided through Thurrock Centre for Independent Living, plug, and everyone has been paid, which has been fantastic. So we actually listened to people and we talked about people as experts by experience. Who here is an expert by experience? Put your hand up. Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. Good man. So that Sharon was that? Yeah, nice one, Sharon. Because you are. I'm not the person that can say, do you know what? I think we should get a big building, put some doors on it, some iron bars, and lock you all away. No, that was the 1960s. No, you tell me, Dan. No. So a lot of the time, what we've done is we've just listened to what you guys said, and we've just gone for it and thought, do you know what? People are telling me there's things that we could do differently. So one of my really quick funny stories, back in the early days, we actually got the people that were using Morisco Hall to interview staff. Now you have to remember that was unusual in those days. And then I went another hog and I said, I'll tell you what, you can have the budget, you've got X many thousands of pounds, between you with a little bit of support, what will you do? So I turned up at Morisco Hall the next week, knocked on the door, went inside, and there was a bloke in his full chef whites. And I'm looking. Oh my God, this is social services money and we've gone out and we bought a chef. What the hell are we doing? Oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, I was quite scared, really scared. Now, do people remember Jeff the chef? Yeah. Right, yeah. So the idea was that the guy said, you know what? We can't actually cook very well. We're not very good at cooking, but sadly, sorry staff, neither are any of the staff. So what they did at the time was they said, you know what? Let's go to an agency and ask if we can hire a chef. And Greg the chef taught the guys how to cook healthy meals. So our experts by experience taught us that this was the right thing to do, yeah? And it sounds so obvious, but those ideas don't come from me, they don't come from the staff. Sometimes they do, but most of the time it's coming from you guys, which is really important to us. So back then, we found a letter the other day from a solicitor, really intelligent questions, possibly people have the experience and they understand. So that was really good. So we went on this journey, and Thurrock Council have been amazing to us. There's no two ways about it. We got in there with members, and we went to several meetings, and we started telling them about forming this company and what it might do. And so we formed the company in 2007, and we got a grant from the Department of Health of £125,000 at the time to set the company up and to take over all the services that were run by the council. That contract didn't happen until 2012. A long time later. Sorry, Anne's just corrected me. This is why I have this board, 2013. Thanks, Anne. So that took a long time, but what were we doing during that time? We started to trade, we started to do business, we started to offer different experiences, we listened to our experts. So one of the great ideas we came up with, the royal we, the directors, not all of them, came up with was the idea of a camper van to take people on holiday. Now, those of you will know, there were several staff, some of you in this room, who said to me, that'll never work. And it didn't. Okay, it did, sort of. One or two people had a good time. And then someone came along and stole it.
They really liked it.
So they loved it, and they got a lot of benefit from it. And it wasn't sunny, you haven't got a driving licence. So the last we know was it was seen heading into London, it broke all the rules with sea charge, and we saw these pictures of the van going into the distance. And we were having a really good laugh about it. I mean, it was insured, so it's not the end of the world. But we have to decide what to do with that money, because we got the insurance money back. So that's all well and good. The poor soul that we bought it from. So imagine this is a typical TLS story. So we had the idea on Monday, between the guys. On Wednesday I got on eBay, and on Thursday we bought the van. Now, in most big institutions that can't happen, but we did it. And then I realised it was parked just outside Glasgow. So then, don't tell anyone, we used the disability ticket. I was on the phone to the guy saying, oh, it's just some poor people with learning disabilities, you need to feel sorry for them. So he drove it down and got the train back. A lovely, lovely man. And throughout our whole experience and our equal value in partnership way, we do meet people like that just do things for Thurrock Lifestyle Solutions. So there are some people that are a bit jealous of us because we've got so big now. But the reality is that that's happened because we believed in you guys. Yeah, we believed in you. We listened to what you said and we did the sort of things that you wanted and that we knew that you'd enjoy that can help you in your lifestyle choices, choice and control to move on in your life. And I think that says a lot. So later on, in a little while, we're going to show a film that's been made again, but really just is 5 minutes of showing all you guys at work and play, yeah? So we'll come on to that in a bit. In the meantime, it's really important that we hear from our directors. And as everyone knows, one of the reasons I got this job is I'm not shy. So I'm okay about being on this mic and chatting to you guys, yeah? So what we want to do, if that's okay, is show our little film that the directors made with some messages from the directors to you guys. Personally, I like that technique. The guys don't really want to come out the front and talk, so that's fine with me, and I think that film says it all really. They've all been really heavily involved. One of the things that's been amazing and one of the great privileges of my life was to meet someone called Liam Coffey, yeah? Do you remember Liam? Give a big cheer. I know he's around today because a couple of things went wrong and I thought, yeah, you little so-and-so, you're playing with me. Which is what he does quite regularly in our office, but let's not go into that, else I'll turn into some sort of seance. But yeah, bless him. And there's lots of Liam stories. Me and him used to get into lots of trouble. I could always blame him, of course, because he had the learning difficulty, allegedly. But we used to get into all sorts of trouble. And once we represented Thurrock in Poland, and I'm sorry if people have heard this story before, but we were out in Poland. He was representing the community of Thurrock. It was fantastic until one day the translator said to me, and I do apologise to our Polish employees, she said to me, but Neil, I don't understand what this man is saying to me. And I said, well, what's he doing then? She said, he is speaking the language of Tilbury. And there you go. And that's what I loved about it, because he was just hilariously funny, and he was just taking the mick, of course. He spoke perfectly good Queen's English, trust me. Okay, so one of the things that happened sadly after his death, or rather wonderfully, was people gave us money. People gave us money. So we established a fund, and it's also in memory of our other director that sadly passed away, called Leslie. And what we always say is, Leslie taught us that you don't need to have eyes to see, because Leslie was blind. And Liam taught us that actually you can be an equal value partner. Yeah, thank you. So once many years ago, I introduced Liam to the mayor. I'm sorry about this, folks, confession time. As a service user, and he said, come here a minute, and I went round the corner and he grabbed me by the throat and held me up against the wall. He said, don't ever call me a service user again. And I was like, okay. So I learned, I never called him a service user again, because it puts people, remember, our triangle, we're trying to put the power the other way round. We don't want people to be service users. We want you to be active citizens. We want you to vote. We want you to be in control of your life. Hence, when you came in today, you all had 3 tokens each, and you were voting for local charities. And each of those charities, because we're a social enterprise, our profit goes back to the community. Each of those charities will receive a cheque for £3,000 after we've eaten, yeah? So, let me think. We did establish something called the Liam and Leslie Trust. And what that was about, it was Liam's idea was I've always wanted to, ... And the idea is, anyone that says, I've always wanted to go hang gliding, I've always wanted to try deep sea diving, whatever, you can apply and get some money. Now, we have our first ever person that's applied for something and got some money, and we thought it would be lovely to do this today. So hopefully, Liam's mum and I can see his sister a mile away. Are you going to come up and give this certificate out? Come on, does your mum want to come? Gosh, you put weight on since I saw you last. When's it due? 6 weeks. 6 weeks' time. Give me a kiss. So, this is a member of that wonderful family that we all love dearly, down there in Tilbury, yeah? That's very true, thank you, Sonny. And our first ever winner that we're going to announce today, who actually asked us for some money, because what he said to us was, this trust, what I've always wanted to do, was to actually be on stage and do some drama. And I wanted to have to pay for 6 months' worth of drama membership for a drama club and learn to be an actor. That's absolutely wonderful. And that person was Gavin Knowles. So Gav, you here? Come on, Gavin, come up on the stage. Gavin, did you want to say anything? Hello. Right, so why did you want to do the drama then?
You wanted the trophy.
Right, okay. And what's your favourite play? Because I think I know. What do you like best?
Greece.
Greece, yeah. This man's a big Greece fan. So good luck, Gavin. We hope to see you on the West End sometime in a show. That'd be fantastic. I'll certainly come and watch you sing. So Gavin was supported to go and see the live Grease show, and he knew every single word, trust me. Sang the whole way through. Mind you, so did the staff, but they're in denial of liking the musical. You're right, thank you. That's it. So I'm going to come talk to you properly. Cheers. The other thing that I should mention about Gavin is Gavin is supported by our new service that's called TACT, which is about supporting people with autism in the community, and uses a technique called applied behavioural analysis, which we're very proud to support. And Gav, I haven't got the certificate here, but I'm really glad to tell everyone that Gavin passed and has got his first ASDAN certificates. Oh, we have got the certificate, Gav, I'm wrong. Thanks for that. Gavin, it's pretty bad. Do you want to come up again? I'm jealous of this, look at this. So Gavin Knowles has got Independent Living ASDAN Award. Rewarding achievement, right mate? That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, well done Gavin, that's so lovely. What we're intending to do is roll out ASDAN across the whole of the stuff that we do, because we want everybody here can get a certificate. Everybody has lifestyle choices. We believe in all of you. You've all got gifts, and you can all get these qualifications towards your independence. Yeah, we want you to be independent, and that's having as much choice and control and having the life that you want to lead. Remember? Okay, John. So some of you know this man, Mr. Paddock.
Yes.
Hey, John. We don't talk about his twin brother. So John's going to talk some numbers with you.
Always a popular slot, it's numbers. But I'm not going to do money this time. We're just going to go through 10 numbers that you may not know about with TLS. And we'll treat it as a quiz. So if you get one of the answers right, ready Gabby? You get food. Otherwise, you're on your bike. So what's number one? How many properties does TLS own or rent? How many? 3? 3? Susan? 3? 3? The answer's on the screen. Come on. 14. 5 bases,
14 times.
7 houses. Oh, good answer, 14. Well done. Who told you that? All right, let's try another one. Of those in the houses, how many people get supported to live independently? 16. Did you say 16? Go back. 16. Well, good guessing. You get a sandwich. How many people are employed by TLS? I was going to do how many people work for TLS, and you were going to say about half. Any guesses?
No.
Bit less than 1,000.
25.
120. 120. Of those 120, 70 of them have pensions which TLS contributes towards. 50 of those have been auto-enrolled, for those that do know it, and are now proud owners of their own little pension pots which shall grow, which is something very much to be proud of. Okay. How many customers are currently on TLS books? How many customers are there? 6. Any rise on 6?
150.
210. Are they all here? They're all here. All right. How many hours of training do TLS staff get in the last year? You know, how many hours in the classroom? 1,489 hours of training last year. Sleeping. As you know, many people know, we support people with sleeping. How many sleep-ins do you think happened last year? 500? No?
3,000.
No, Michael Barrymore.
Shout more, shout more.
I am.
Not more.
5,667. Or you could say that was one person who we slept with for 15 and a half years. All in the last 12 months. I don't think that quite works out. How many hours supporting customers last year? I can tell you, 2 to 1s, 7,521 hours.
2,000.
1 to 1s, who gets 1 to 1s?
I don't know.
23,420 hours. What about groups? Who's in a group? In the bases, who's in a group? 64,000 man hours were delivered for support to people in groups. In 12 months. That's something to be proud of. Alright, who's got a mobile phone?
I have.
How much does it cost you?
I have.
Each month?
£70.
But £10, about £120 a year. TLS spent £15,000 on mobile phones last year. And that was just Neil's bill. But overall, since we've got together, we've spent how much on our phones? £84,000 the company spent since it was formed. Oh, sorry, over the last 5 years. It's a big phone bill, isn't it? A discount. Number 8 out of 10. TLS uses 8 adapted vehicles to transport its customers around. How much did they cost last year to run? 119,000 pounds. Enjoy the ride. You're walking next year. How many hours of support did TLS deliver last year in total? Remember, we've got the nightclubs, we've got the DJ groups, all that sort of stuff. 48,000 hours, that's a lot. Any more? 200, I feel like it's comic relief. 208,043 hours. That's something everybody should be proud of. That is fantastic. And lastly,
Since last
go on.
Faces.
since it was incorporated,
Well done.
207,
Yeah. TLS
TLS has
delivered
over what?
over what? £8.25 million worth of support, care and service. Everyone, customers, staff, the directors, the commissioners, social workers, counsellors, there are the NHS who started it, partners, advisors, ministers and MPs have all made a contribution to that. But particularly,
Yes, that's embarrassing. Okay, so a little bit of talking, then we've got a special guest who wants to say a few words to us. So they are amazing figures, aren't they? And there is a lot of money that we spend every year. Our budget now turns over about £2.5 million a year, and 45% of that is from the old contract that we won all those years ago in 2013, but we do other stuff as well, which brings in money to this borough. You know, there's a reality in capital money. We've brought in about 700,000 quid of extra resource. People are very excited. I'm very excited about a partnership that we're doing in Stamford-le-Hope where we're building some flats. But we're not building some flats. Well, guess how much they cost us or cost the council? How much do you think 4 flats would have cost the council? 14 grand? No, a bit more than that. Any ideas? Shall I tell you the truth? How much of the 4 flats being built in Poley Road cost this authority? I'll give you a clue. Nothing. Because we didn't need their money, folks. We had a very nice organisation who might be here, Burnbeck Housing Association. They went and got the capital money, they built the flats, and there are some guys in this room that are in the transition house in Poley that are going to move into those flats at no cost. That's fantastic news, isn't it? I think that deserves a round of applause. Thanks. Okay, so within all that, one of the things the directors and I were talking about is, okay, what about the next 10 years then? What are we going to do for the next 10 years? Because there's still more to do. The managers will tell you that I'm never quite happy really in terms of what we've achieved. There's more that we can do. There's more that we can do that's better. We push the staff all the time, and I'd make no apology for that. I make absolutely no apology. Trust me, we will reward you as soon as we get more money in. People will be getting a pay rise in this room. I've made a commitment to that and we will sort that out, yeah? But it's not all about the money. You don't do it just for the money, do you? Be honest, it's about the professional love that you feel, etc., etc. But there's a problem, and I'm just going to tell you about that problem. And that problem is actually that if you have a learning disability in the United Kingdom today, you will die 13 years younger than anybody else. That's unfair. That's not right, is it? It's very, very wrong. And we don't like unfairness, and TLS wants to do something about that. Now, you know, we've had quite a big falling out with the local GPs at times, but the good news is that our friends in the health, our friends in the clinical commissioning group have done a fantastic job this year and have got over 75% of people to have an annual health check from their doctor. Yay, well done. People here had an annual health check? Been to see your GP? Had a check, yeah? Good. It's really important. We all want to stay healthy, we want to live a long time.
Crispy.
How many in actual numbers, Anne? I don't know. Jane Itengata, are you in the audience? The question was, how many numbers total?
Crispy a minute.
How many?
John.
100, what? About 460, which is probably pretty much very close to nearly all the people we know. That's fantastic. But I'm afraid the news gets a bit worse for Thurrock, which I don't understand and I get very upset and I get quite angry about. Because, yes, 13 years dying before anyone else is unfair. Nothing to do with having a learning disability, it's just unfair. But in Thurrock, that number is actually 20.2 years. So Anybody here, maybe say your mum died when she was 80. So if she had a learning disability, she might have died when she was 60. Now, why should people be robbed of those 20 years? It's wrong. So we lost someone we love dearly, or go watch myself, right, recently. And that was very sad for us. Catherine was the last person we've known, but we've known too many people. So the good news is we're going to pledge some of our profits, lots of our staff time, to get people to have their health action plan up and running properly. There's no more we can sit about and say, oh, it's terrible, these people are dying. We've got to do something. So our pledge from me and the directors today is that we are going to do something about that. We're going to start more and more health stuff. No more takeaways in the localities. Let's get some healthy food in. Let's get these health action plans up and running, yeah? Let's make people understand about keeping fit. Could be just going for a walk. Because people don't understand what's happening and it's not fair. So our pledge is that in 10 years' time when we come back here, there'll be less, those numbers will have improved. So instead of maybe 20 years, we may well have at least got it down to just 10 years. That would be some going. But we're going to try our hardest. John, you had your hand up. Thank you, John. John's advice is to eat more salad. I see John doing that regularly. So there's a truth, isn't there? So, you know, we will have a health conference this year coming. We will start giving more and more advice. We will spend some of our money on helping everybody in this room to be safer. Yes, Eileen. And more fruit. See, people know what to do. They just need support to do the right thing, which we're going to do, because there's no point us bashing doctors and nurses and people like that. We are part of the problem as a provider. We have to try and support people to get this right, because it's unfair that the citizens of Thurrock are dying young. It's not right, and we want to do something about it. So, the other really good news that relates to that is our local MP, who was elected just recently, is Jackie Doyle-Price, and one of the things that's happened to her is that she's been elected and now she's going to be a health minister. So I think that deserves a round of applause, personally. And what that means is she's right in the heart of government, and she can help write policies that will help improve things that we know need to change. And guess what? One of the expressions that she's learned, because I've taught her it. What are you guys? You're experts? Fantastic. And Jackie's already told me she's got her listening ears on, and she's going to listen to you guys going forward over these next few years, because she wants to go back to the government, to the Prime Minister, whoever, and say to them, do you know what? There's something we could do different, and this is what we're going to do. So watch this space. But Jackie, you were going to come up and have a quick word, weren't you? So everybody, this is Jackie Doyle-Price, your local MP.
Thank you, Neil. Well, first thing to say is congratulations on 10 absolutely brilliant years. And I have to say, whenever I have anything to do with Thurrock Lifestyle Solutions, I go away inspired. I go away inspired by the fact that everyone is so committed, everyone's enthusiastic, but most inspiring of all is the ambition that everyone has for success. And one of the reasons I was absolutely delighted to get the call from the Prime Minister, and she asked me to be the Minister in charge of care and mental health, and in charge of people with disabilities. So it's going to be my job to make sure that everybody with any kind of disability gets access to the health treatment that they need and gets helped into work. Because one of the things that Neil's just referred to about people with a disability likely to die earlier, one of the things that keeps people healthy is being in work. Because we all know what that means to us. If we get a job, if we're going out, we've got routine, we're meeting people, our social abilities are strengthened, and that leads to better physical health too. So one of my priorities, and I'll be mining Neil and John for their advice on this, is to make sure we do a whole lot better about getting people into work. Because we've done a lot about for people with physical disabilities, but rather less for people with learning disabilities and mental health problems. And that's really at the heart of the Prime Minister's agenda, and that's what she's tasked me to do. Now, in terms of the health offering, I'm a bit intimidated now, because I actually set my officials the task of making sure that everyone with a learning disability gets a health check, and we're setting the target of 75%. So the fact that we've now smashed it means that I will go back and say, well, we've done it in Thurrock, so we can do it elsewhere in the rest of the country. And that's another reason why I'm so pleased to be here today, because one of my first reactions when I was offered the job is, actually, do you know what? Thurrock Lifestyle Solutions can teach the rest of the country how it's done. Yeah. I mean, like I say, you know, you've been an absolute inspiration. The first 10 years have been brilliant. The next 10 are going to be even better. And I'll promise you, as Neil said, you know, you are the experts. You know exactly what needs to be done. We need to listen to you to know what else we can do to support you. And I know Neil won't be backwards in coming forwards in asking me. And he won't be backwards in coming forwards at telling me what needs to be done. And sometimes that means me having to make quite unpopular messages, and I was quite happy to take your side with the GPs. And let's be honest, sometimes sunlight's the best disinfectant. I've no doubt that a bit of embarrassment helps move them on a little bit. And we need to be more prepared to actually give out those uncomfortable messages as and when we need to. Equally, you need to tell me when government's letting you down, because I am your champion in government. And I'm more than prepared to go and beat up my ministerial colleagues and tell them when they're getting things wrong, and to kick them into action when they need to do more. So thank you very much, congratulations. I look forward to working with you much more closely, but also to, as I say, showing the rest of the country how you do it so well. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Jackie. We've got all that on film, so we will hold you to account, as you know. Okay, so everybody's done incredibly well and been incredibly patient, and that's really good. So we've just got one more 5-minute thing to show you. Has anyone here been filmed in the last few weeks?
No.
Yeah, we've had some crazy guy going around with a camera, haven't we? So again, part of our community interest is we support local businesses, and we're very, very happy to support Paul Carpenter Films. Paul, stand up. This is Paul Carpenter from South Ockenden, one of the best documentary filmmakers I know. He's a star. And we got him to come. I have to say, putting him in a room during the 4 hottest days of the year, editing this nearly killed him, but he's all right. So, just sit back. This is going to be on our web eventually. Just watch this main film here and see if you can spot some of your friends. Disabled people in this room, all you guys who's staff, everybody, well done and congratulations, and thank you so much. Okay, so, is anyone hungry? Well, I did sign a cheque, so I think someone's got some food for us somewhere. So the idea is that our DJs, who by the way have been trained, who are hanging about somewhere, and they're going to play just some gentle-ish music, please, while we're just having something to eat. But the idea is if you guys make your way back outside, if you need to come for a break, to where the food will be back where you come in and get something to eat. And then we have a live Cayley band coming to perform for us, and they're all going to be dancing. No excuses.